Okay, welcome everyone we're going to be talking about European expansion with Korean skincare. We're just going to take the next few minutes and share with you about a brand that did several $billion and is starting to expand globally. And the first European expansion is, of course, going to happen in the United Kingdom. Where else would it start? This is where everything stems out from. So you are hearing about this early on. We are in a pre-launch phase where the United Kingdom is going to officially open up next month. So, you know what? Fortune favors the bold, and you guys are here at the very, very beginning, which is exciting. So, we're going to go through a little bit about the brand, a little bit about Korean skincare, and then also tell you what to expect when it launches in your market. So, if you didn't know this, K-beauty is taking the world by storm, literally. So if you didn't know, it's a $91 billion industry. And over the next 5 years, you guys, it's going to more than double to $187 billion. And it's a very rare moment in time when you can get ahead of a trend like this. So of course, we know that beauty sells. The beauty industry is $1 trillion industry, but when you have a subcategory like K beauty just growing at this explosive rate within the beauty industry, for those that get in at the beginning of this explosion in this pre-momentum phase are the ones who are going to capitalize on that growth and end up making a lot of money. Just on TikTok alone, there's 41 billion views for Korean skincare just on TikTok. So this is, you guys, I have no doubt this is going to double in the next 5 years. And for the first time ever, now this is shocking to me, on our imports into North America, for the first time ever, Korean skincare is more imported over France. France has always been the leading importer, exporter in the beauty category with Lancome, Estee Lauder, and Korean skincare says, hold on, we're here, we've arrived. And so a lot of people are curious about Korean skincare, but they really don't know where to start. What's the best one? Why should I use that one versus a different brand? So a lot of people are curious about it and they're looking for someone to tell them which one is better and why. And so the reason why I will say, we are going to be in over 50 markets in the next 5 years. But what Korea did is they actually did research on some of the markets that have the highest demand for K-beauty. And the reason why the UK was specifically chosen is because right now the K-beauty market in the UK is valued at 584 million. And over the next few years, it's going to double to over $1.15 billion, you guys. This is going to move fast. And I can promise you this, that the people that you know are going to be trying this brand, be curious about this brand because it is the number one searched for Korean skincare in Korea. So we're going to get through some of this on what makes it different. If you didn't know this, Korea is actually considered the skincare capital of the world. And in the hardest market in the entire world to go number one in, they did it. Not only that, but they sold $3 billion of their product line. And you can see, you probably haven't seen the packaging yet because it hasn't officially launched in your market yet, but the packaging is gorgeous. It really sets the stage for what you're about to experience. I know when I saw this, this is the first time where I'm like, this doesn't even look like something that's sold in direct sales. This looks like something that's sold in a high-end med spa or a high-end department store. And when you put it on your face, you'll see what I mean about the difference that it does. In 5 days, you're going to see results. Don't take my word for it. I always tell people, let the camera be the judge on what it does for you. And so not only that, you can see this is their dermatology cream. This is probably one of their number one selling items. It comes in a very generous container. This sold 40 million jars in Korea. You have to realize Korea, there's about 52 million people that live in Korea. So for them to sell 40 million jars means most of the population is using this brand. It's actually not only the number one searched for Korean skincare, but it's the number one exported Korean skincare out of Korea. It was already number 22 on the DSN list before they even stepped foot outside of Korea. And so here is what I love about what this brand does is when they go to a market, they really show their commitment to that market. So for example, when they came to North America, the owner spent $14 million cash on an office building in California because he wanted to show his commitment that says, hey, we're here to stay. We are committed to this market. Same thing, with the UK when they go there. They are going to officially open on October 17th. That is when you can officially enroll with the brand through the UK. They always hire a targeted GM for each market that knows the market, that understands the culture, that understands the buying habits. So everything is tailored to that market. They will also have a local warehouse within the UK that will start shipping on October 27th. So this is going to move, you guys, this is a little over a month away and it's going to move very, very quickly. Now, here's what this brand does different. So for every corporate office that they open, they have actually hired the designer who designs all of the Prada stores, and they hired her to design the office locations for HQ. Now, these offices are not for the corporate staff, they're for you. They're for distributors, reps, affiliates to have one-on-one events at, one-on-one meetings, to have demos and pop-ups in the office. They're for you to show off the brand. So they're meant to be a showcase designer piece that you bring people into. And this will actually be located inside of the famous Arc building. So if you are local to London, you will know absolutely what building we're talking about. And this is going to be a really great meeting spot for you to bring prospective business partners or customers too. Now you can see this is a preview of some of the brands. Now I've been asked how many product items we have within the entire brand. I actually don't know. There could be 50 plus, maybe somebody on here knows. They will be starting with some of their signature lines to begin with. So they won't start with the entire product line. They will be starting with something called the dermatology line, which is their most popular skincare line, and also their Bodolab line. Between these two lines, there are 16 patents between these two lines, so no one can duplicate this technology. So let me tell you a little bit about the story behind these products. Now you can see this video. Of course, I have the sound turned off. I'm going to talk over it. So ask the person that invited you to send you this 3-minute brand video and listen very closely to the science and the technology behind the brand when you watch it. Now, they actually hired the producers who make videos for Toyota and paid them almost $1 million to make this one 3-minute video. And the story about how this was discovered is the #1 product formulator who owns the #1 product formulation lab in Korea. It's called Ask Labs. They were researching something called tiger grass because tigers would roll around in this because it would heal their wounds faster. Well, he had developed his own strain and technology and even patented a species of plant. Let me tell you, it is extremely difficult to get a patent on a species. It takes several years to obtain that. So he had developed his own strain and technology, was putting this on the skin, and it was rapidly healing the skin in just 5 to 7 days. We don't even like to call this skincare because we do call it more like skin repair. And do you see this lava energy water? Do you see this image? So what this is seawater that's been filtered under volcanic rock for over 400,000 years. Well, because he is a top product formulator, he is one of 6 scientists that has a government contract to be able to access this seawater. The reason why it's so special is because they actually have to drill down into the earth to access this. There's only 5 locations on the earth that have it. This is off the coast of Korea. And he is the only one licensed to be able to use it in cosmetics. So you have to realize most products, 80% of the product is water, which is distilled water, which is also dead water. And he saw an opportunity there where he wanted to use the Jeju energy lava water in place of these products, in place of the distilled water, because it has extra frequencies and minerals in it that you cannot even find on this earth anymore. So why do you see results in 5 days? Because this is a cosmeceutical. This does things that regular skincare cannot do. Not only does it have 13 different patents on the skincare line, 16 in total across the total brand, but it also has it's considered a cosmeceutical because it uses something called a microfluidizing process. It's very expensive equipment that allows the product to penetrate to the deepest layer. Then it uses nanoliposomal technology that heals at the cellular level from the inside out. Well, not only does it have the patents, the microfluidizer, the nanoliposomal technology, it also contains exosomes and NMN. NMN stimulates your body's NAD production. This is like your fountain of youth. If you've ever seen anything on TikTok talking about NAD, everybody's trying to figure out how to replace it because it's like your fountain of youth. So this is why you see results in just 5 to 7 days. Now, you can see this is the dermatology line, and one of our favorite things about this is that it's clean. It actually abides by the European Union standards, but goes a step further than that because it actually bans over 3,000 toxic ingredients from its brand. And the reason why that's important is because when you're pushing product into that deep layer of skin and the blood barrier, you do not want to be pushing toxins into the skin. So it's important for this to be clean. Now, this is my forehead on the left. I was blown away when I saw my own results. And also my husband is in the middle. You can see his pores, his hyperpigmentation, what it did for his skin. When I saw these results, I had called my friend who told me about this, and I said, look, I don't know what I'm going to do about the business, but I can tell you I'm going to be a customer for life. And I was using expensive medical grade products, and honestly, this made every other product I've ever used feel like drugstore quality. You can see how it also reduces inflammation in the skin. This is MJ. You can see it got rid of her hyperpigmentation, the puffiness in her skin. That's what the patented giant Biang Pul does, is one of the things it does. It reduces inflammation. I love this picture in the middle because you can really see the difference on what it does for the skin tone, the pores, the texture, the wrinkles. It looks like probably 10 to 15 years younger on the right hand side. Of course, we're seeing the hyperpigmentation go away, as well as what it does for men. And then also over time, you can see this picture on the right, it's after 6 months and how it looks like it took 10 years off of her face. This is probably one of my favorite ones on the left. She's actually Hawaiian, and you can see after just a few months use, it looks like it took 20 years off of her face. If you think that these pictures are too good to be true, I'm with you, except I know these people, so I do know their results are accurate. This is Sharon in the middle. And you can see again with the puffiness, she has never had needles, she's never had injections. She said, I know a lot of people don't believe what this did for me, but that's the truth. I don't know what else to say. And then I know this is, maybe you guys can put it in the chat because I'd love to know her name and what it did for her dark circles, because I know she's friends with a few of you who are on here today, and you can see what it does for the darkness under the eyes. I've seen multiple pictures like this, but this is the most dramatic I've seen with the improvement. Okay, so what I would like to do, I would like to introduce you to somebody. Her name is Carissa Squire, and here's what's interesting to me is the amount of interest and partnerships that are coming from beauty professionals. And Carissa is a celebrity makeup artist. She went to the prestigious Blanche School of Design and Makeup in Canada. She has been to Paris Fashion Week. She has traveled to the UK. She has worked on movie sets and film sets with special effects makeup. And here's the thing is when you're a beauty professional at that level, people put products in front of you all the time and they want your opinion. And she has seen everything. In fact, I think, she had her own special account at Sephora because she would come in and load up on so much product. And she said, I've never seen anything do what this does for the skin, like what this does. So Carissa, tell us why. And I know you're right now, you guys, she's multifaceted. She has her farm life and she has her glam life. And I know we're catching you on your farm life today, but tell us a little bit about why you decided to partner with this brand.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Bree, for that introduction. I'm in the combine. We're just taking the grain off the field right now. So I always say, and Bree knows when she intros me, you either get like the full-blown fashionista makeup artist side of me, or I'm known as Farm Barbie in the company now. So you guys get Farm Barbie today. Um, Bree's not wrong. So just a little bit of background. And I'm not going to come from a place of what I think. I'm going to come from a place of what I know and what I've experienced in the beauty industry specifically. And I don't know if there's any beauty industry women on here, but I know there's a lot of people that are on here and tuning in from their 9 to 5 or their jobs, right? You're making it work. What I know from my experience is that the beauty industry has been excessively transactional. Okay. And what I mean by that is it's my time for money. And I'm a relationship based person. I always have been. It's why I got into the beauty industry because making men and women feel good about themselves is extremely important to me. But where my personality and character comes into play is I'm always trying to like up level where I'm at. It's like nothing is ever baseline. I'm never content. I'm always like, okay, what's next? And what was next for me is moving past the transactional part of the business aspect. And what that meant for me was finding an opportunity in a business that I could align myself with that could get me there, that could provide me with the relationships of surrounding myself with more educated, smarter, talented people than myself. And that's how you grow, right? Anyone who has an entrepreneurial minded brain knows that. You're going to grow when you link and partner with people that you want to be, you want to get there. And direct sales has always been that for me. I grew up in a direct sales home, so it's just been instilled in my blood from a little toddler. So beauty was always the pathway that I wanted to find in a company. And so a couple years ago, I started searching. And I really, when I say I did my research, you guys, oh, sorry, you're going to hear the semi start farm life problems, guys. Um, I really, really did my due diligence on who I was going to partner with. And there was a lot to offer. There's a lot of sparkly, shiny companies out there. What I will tell you, the number one thing when I was looking into companies and products specifically was the exclusiveness. That is bar none the main thing in beauty specifically when we live in a world where there is a million different brands, there's a million different products. Bree was talking about the statistics of where, like, money wise, this is going to go. You have to find a company that you're going to get a piece of the pie when it does get up here. And I knew K Beauty was it. Okay. It was trending huge on TikTok. And the reason, lots of trends come and go, but I'll tell you what, there's very, very few trends. And this isn't a trend because it's here to stay, but there's very few trends that cater to the teenagers and the mature skin women that everyone can recognize. And K Beauty was it. Where I was coming from looking and researching is okay, I know K Beauty is it, but why this K Beauty? And I know that's what you guys are all going to think because when you hear certain words, you ever hear a word someone say and you're like, man, I've never really like heard that word before. And then all of a sudden you see it and hear it everywhere. It's like on repeat. I'm telling you right now, Centella Asiatica is going to be that word for you. Remember that word in your brain because you're going to start seeing it on shelves everywhere. The difference and the reason why this K Beauty is because of just that. So we call it Giant Biang Pool. And when I did my research, this is the number one thing that stood out for me is they have a 20-year patent on this Giant Biang Pool. No other company can have. And I'm telling you, I just went to my Baba's house like a few weeks back and she's an old school woman, okay? She's old school farm wife. She loves her products and she sticks to them. This is a company that she has used for years that's starting to leverage and use the K beauty terminology on their packaging because they know what is in right now. And Centella asiatica is it. Giant Biang Pool, also known as tiger grass, it's it. Nobody in the beauty realm has this plant except Riman. And I want you guys to know how important that is. So when people are like, oh, but I can grab K Beauty from here in Costco in Canada. No, you can't. You cannot. You don't have the clean ingredients that Riman has. You don't have the science technologies that Riman has. They do everything from growing the plant to creating the products to putting it in your hands. Okay. So this all comes to play into what I looked for in partnership. Number two, I needed something, all the beauty girlies on here, I need something to put in my professional makeup kit that can work for everyone. And if you're a beauty professional, you know how hard and difficult that is to find a brand that you can use and feel comfortable using on absolutely everyone. You don't just put yourself in front of a brand when you're a professional and recommend it to people unless you're wholeheartedly in it. That's a woman thing, right? And I'll say that we have to have that attachment to the products that we're applying. Men, they can smell opportunity from a mile away. And we have some fantastic males in this company that have just seen the opportunity. They've listened to the women because they see how much love we have for the products, and they've gone full tilt with it. So I'll wrap this up because I can honestly talk about this company forever. Bree knows this. But if there's one takeaway that I want you guys to look back on from what I said, it's the exclusiveness of this brand and of the products and who you're aligning yourself with. Because they'll say it doesn't matter who you go into business with. I just heard Bree say this. It does. It really, really does matter who you go into business with.
Thank you so much for Carissa. You guys, I could listen to her talk all day long. Thank you so much. I love her viewpoint from being in the beauty industry world and what stood out to her the most, because I know she does research on a lot of brands. So we appreciate that. Okay, we're going to jump back in and give you a little bit more information. And now, like I said, where they are going to launch with the dermatology line and also the Boda Lab line. So this is a whole separate hero product line. You have to realize most brands, they have one hero product and then they build out a portfolio around that. This has a whole separate hero patented product line. You guys, again, 20 years of exclusivity on these products. And what this is, they have clinical trials that they've done in Korea on how this grows hair. So I will show you just the fullness, the thickness that happens in your hair just after a few weeks. And then of course, this woman on the top left, she had scalp psoriasis. You can see how it's actually healing the scalp after one wash. And that's why we say that this is more like skincare for your scalp. This is also skincare for your body. You can see this body cream. It has Hyla collagen in it, which actually helps heal crepiness and discoloration on the skin. So all of the products are infused with patented ingredients. You know, I don't want to make you too jealous, but we do have Korean skincare infused makeup that has just launched here in North America, and they are launching a full, Korean skincare infused makeup line in 2026 that's coming out that will be actually healing your skin while you wear it because it has those patented ingredients in it. So another thing that I like to look at when I'm evaluating a company is the rewards plan. And most companies, you have to realize, pay out between 45, 50%. This pays upwards of 57% of the revenue, which is extremely high. You can earn between 10 to 54%. It's $20 US to partner with the company. And then that's just annually. And then you just pick the products that fit your budget. And one of my favorite things about this compensation plan is they don't even require a subscription or an auto shipment. And when I heard that, I wanted to know why. And they said, because we don't have to. They said anybody that uses these products once is not going to stop using them. So we don't have to require our affiliates to purchase them. So that was refreshing to hear. I also love this component. The comp plan pays out 6 different ways. And one of the ways that they pay is through a leadership check match bonus where you can earn between 5 to 40% of other people's checks by helping them do well, sharing the K beauty movement. So this is something that they have that is so different that I've never seen people do in the direct sales space, which is their first class marketing and celebrity endorsements. So you can see this is just an example of one of their ads that they have in Korea. His name is Won Ben. So Won is the #1 actor in Korea. It's kind of like the Brad Pitt of Korea. And this is an example of one of their ads. It looks like a Versace commercial or a YSL commercial. And you can see everything that they do is so well done. They always hire and collab with the best when it comes to marketing. Here's another example where they partnered with a company called Pentagram. It's the number one marketing and branding firm out of New York that works with brands like Valentino, Lululemon, Starbucks. And it's because they want the best. They also have a collab that they're doing with a man named Frederic Bertin. You may not know who that is, but you know the brands that he works for. He is the number one fragrance formulator in the world and designs all the fragrances for Tom Ford, Louis Vuitton, and is also creating a signature scent for Riman. So, of course, with some of the things that this company is doing different, it is attracting other industry insiders. And so, I want to introduce you to Lori and Stephanie, who are business partners. And I love how they've partnered up to grow the K beauty movement. And Lori, she's has 30 years of experience in sales and marketing, and she's also worked on the corporate side and now has become her own CEO and building her own e-commerce business. And then she partnered up with Stephanie, who has been a top leader in the direct sales business for over 11 years. So I'm going to pass it over to them and they can kind of share a little bit about what attracted them to the K beauty movement.
Great.
Hi, everyone. So, thank y'all so much. I'm so excited to be here. I just wanted to share a little bit about why I've been involved for over 11 years. I love to follow trends and to be in the right place at the right time. And for me, it's being able to say yes and be there for my kids. I never missed any sporting events, was able to follow my son who played college baseball. And so that meant a lot to me, but also provide for my family and doing it all from my phone, which I'm doing right now. As you can see, I'm outside at a friend's house. And so super excited for me for the future is now talking about trends and things that my friends are talking about at my age. And K Beauty is right there up there with it. So just wanted to share that and thank you all for joining.
I'll jump in. Thanks, Stephanie. And the other thing that was not mentioned is that we are 3,000 miles away and we're business partners. So you can do this business anywhere, anytime. And I came from a corporate background, 22 years, marketing and sales, had never even really heard of direct sales. Was introduced, and Stephanie and I had been friends, did a business together. And I just never, it's so interesting. I get really excited to hear this presentation too, because I hear from folks like Carissa, who's always been in direct sales, and then so many corporate folks too. So it truly is a business for everyone. But what's so special about Remon, and you've heard a lot of it today, is that timing is everything. Trends, ease to sell, and retention, those were the things that were super important to me. And so I had already been using the products. I love the products, but I never considered myself a skincare girl at all. I was just kind of lazy with it. I had rosacea for many years and still have rosacea, but it was the first product that actually changed my skin. It was the first product that I felt comfortable going out without makeup, going to the gym without makeup. And so I knew that the product was magnificent, but I needed to understand if the business was right. And so, what I love about it is I love studying trends with a marketing background and to see K Beauty and what it's done on social media. But this business is so hybrid. You can do it with social, you can do it in person, you can do this business so many different ways because the product is magnificent and it resells itself. And what's really, really cool about it is that they have automation and tools and very modern type business with an affiliate-led comp plan. But I love the ease to sell. It's fun to sell skincare. People get excited to talk about skincare, and you don't have to provide a ton of instruction or know all those details because most people know how to use a moisturizer. And the retention that comes with that, once they start using it, fall in love with it, and see that glow, they're going to be your customer for life, just like Bree said. And that's certainly how I felt. And when I saw the business side of it, it just was a no-brainer. I wish I could be in the situation like you are in the UK to come in early. I wish I would have started when we first launched in North America that early. So your opportunity is tremendous in the UK to get this ground floor advantage. So thank you for letting me share.
That's so good. Yeah, she's right, by the way. Yeah, I will say we started a little bit later in North America, and you guys are hearing about this very early on. So let's talk about the ownership because the ownership is something that I feel is one of the most important aspects because I will say that the owner is also the product formulator. Remember, he owns Ask Labs, which is the number one product formulation lab. And he is so passionate about two things. Number one is product innovation, and number two is marketing, which is why you have this first class branding marketing experience. And he's always going to be looking for the next innovation. Right now, he has 13 scientists in his lab who are innovating the trends and the hottest ingredients that are going to be 5, 10, 15 years down the line, and they're going to come out with these patented versions. So this company is always going to stay cutting edge. And one of the things that is really unique about him is, one, he's a billionaire that drives a Hyundai. And I tell you that because he's not doing this for the money. He truly is passionate about bringing luxury skincare to the everyday person. That is exactly why this cream is priced at $60 US. That is why this is not, when we have dermatologists and master estheticians that try this, they expect this to cost between $300 to $400 for what it does. And that's exactly why it's not priced at more, because he wanted luxury skincare for the everyday person. In fact, his first year in business, he took the profits from the first year and immediately started construction on this. This is called Riman Village. It's a 5-star resort on Jeju Island off of the coast of Korea. We're actually going here next month, and we were here last October, and he built it for the affiliates. He built it for us to come and have events, retreats, leadership events, to come and see the smart farm. And so when we visited this last year, they said we were going to see the smart farm. And what I didn't expect is what we pulled up to was an entire campus. And this company is completely vertically integrated. What that means is they own every step of the process from farm to face. They own the land, they own the patents, they own the labs, they own the smart farms. They even own the bottling facility that makes the bottles that the products come into. Why is that important? It's important because it cuts out the middleman. When you cut out the middleman, you have more money to put into R&D, marketing, and the compensation plan. And that's exactly what he wanted to do. And so when we were here, we learned that he has mapped out a 100-year plan on how he wants to become the number one K-beauty brand in the world, and he wants to do it with us. And I'm telling you right now, he is not competing with other brands like Nu Skin or Rodan and Fields or Mary Kay or Pharmacy. Those are not the brands that he's competing with. The brands that he is going head to head with are brands like Chanel and Dior and La Mer. Those are the brands that he is competing with, and he wants to do it with us. And to be honest with you, when we were here, I wanted to know why. Why did he choose this industry when he could have been in a high-end department store or high-end med spas? And he could have charged so much more for these products. Because I'm telling you right now, I would pay 3 times as much for these products for what they do for the skin. And what I found out is that in Korea, they view direct sales and network marketing very differently than the rest of the world. There, it's very respected and it's taken very seriously. So he had actually been involved with network marketing in his 20s and had fallen in love with it. So he knew that he wanted to partner with this industry. And I'm telling you, when I first walked away, I was with a previous brand for almost 10 years. And, my friend called me and, told me that there's a company that did almost $3 billion and was just coming, new in North America. It would have taken a lot for me to walk away because I had built one of the fastest growing teams in Europe. And so for me to walk away from that to come to this company was not an easy decision because Rimon's not in Europe yet. Like the UK, we're just now talking about the UK. The UK is first. That's going to be its first step into the European market. And so for me to walk away meant walking away from everything that I had built. But I knew that I didn't want to miss this. And in my gut, I knew something like this comes along once every 15 years. But I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that anymore because something like this does not happen in this industry. This is bigger than network marketing. And I truly feel bad for people that are going to miss this moment in time because it is going to move very, very quickly. So let me talk about what the next steps are going to look like in the UK. So the pre-launch site actually opened today. I will give you that site address here in just a couple of minutes. And then on October 17th is when you can actually officially enroll. So you cannot enroll today. What is opening today is you'll be able to see the pricing on the products. I will say the VAT tax is already included in the pricing that you'll see on the products. And on the 17th is when you can officially enroll into the system. Well, let's say that you're somebody on here today who is from somewhere in Europe, like Sweden, or maybe you live in Belgium and you're like, I know people in the UK. Well, if you are somebody in Europe, and what you can do is you can actually go ahead and pre-enroll through the Hong Kong market. The Hong Kong is considered a free trade market where you can enroll through Hong Kong. You can get a link. You won't be able to ship product to yourself, but you can get a link that will allow you to enroll people in other markets, and especially markets that we're already open with. So that is an option for you. If you're somebody on here and you're like, hey, I know a lot of people in Hong Kong or the UK or North America or Taiwan, the places that we are open, you can go ahead and grab a spot. Now, we will have a big event in London. It will be at the Novotel Hotel. I'll tell you which one in just a moment, but that will be on October 19th. So this will be kind of like the grand opening event for that market. And then on October 27th is when product shipping will begin. So what I would encourage you to do is go ahead and register for this event on October 19th. This will be at the Novotel London West Hotel. It will be in the Champagne Suite. Go ahead and take a picture of this so you can get registered through this QR code. And here is what's going to happen next is you want to, you can either wait to enroll through the UK on October 17th, or if you want to pre-enroll through Hong Kong, that is an option too. Just get back to the person that shared this with you and ask them how to do that. And then of course, if you would like to go on the pre-marketing site and see some of the pricing, the pre-marketing materials, you can go to uk.riman.com and grab all of that information. Okay, so this is what we look like right now. So we are only in 8 markets, okay? Next month, we officially open up the Philippines, which will be our 9th market. Then we are opening up United Kingdom officially next month, and then Japan by the end of the year. The first quarter of next year, we will be opening up Chile, Colombia, Peru, Italy, Spain, and Ireland. You guys, they are going to be in over 50 markets in the next 5 years. This is going to move very, very quickly, just like the K-beauty movement. So you don't want to miss this. This is going to be what the end goal looks like. And I would encourage you to hold on tight. This is going to move fast. I will tell you that for me, first mover's advantage is everything. Timing is to direct sales, like location is to real estate. And that's exactly why I walked away, because I knew that people that I know were going to hear about this, and I wanted them to hear about it from me versus somebody else. So thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. I appreciate your time, and please get back to the person that invited you to see if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.